And don't you think, taking that to another level, in fact, and you've had, 37 years in this business, you've seen some big groups grow. Mm-hmm. Don't you think one of the common denominators between growth in large groups is getting key people all doing the same thing at the same time?
Well, you got to have something that can duplicate.
Right. I mean, you get that duplication, and then it's like you're doing conference calls, and there's no real questions. People get on the call. This is the way we do it. It's step one, step two, step three.
Simple.
And the longer step one, step two, step three stays step one, step two, step three. Yeah. In other words, 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. Correct me if I'm wrong, you're 8 years in the company you're with right now.
Yeah,
almost 9 years. I suspect step one, step two, step three are about 9 years old now.
Yeah, they stay the same. If you have a new way of doing the business every month, like the in-home presentation, think about a non-sales type trying to learn a presentation, let alone a 1-2 hour presentation.
Right.
And then if they did sponsor someone, they go in there with the help of their sponsor, then can that person go out and do the same thing? So it definitely falls apart pretty fast. And with our system, of course, it keeps duplicating 3, 5, 10, 20. There's no limit to how far down it goes, because we, as we say in the seminar, we can teach someone our system in less than 10 minutes.
What I think about that is that when a person is filled up with all this knowledge, the likelihood that they're going to be able to be freed up and just be themselves, and do the thing that I think is probably as important as anything, which is building relationships.
Sure. And
understanding that has got to be first and foremost. If that's intact, a simple 10-minute system, if I can teach you how to do it in 10 minutes, then it only makes sense that you can teach somebody else how to do it in 10 minutes.
Sure.
As long as that 10 minutes is staying the same, you become an expert on that 10 minutes in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
When that just changing, and I've just seen this happen a lot, so I think it's a great saying, and I appreciate that. Now, the other one is the more you know, the slower you grow.
Yeah, okay. Well, what you have here, you've observed maybe people who are growing very fast when they first get started in the business. Right. And then, they go to an all-day or an all-weekend company event where they bring in the doctors and all the experts, and they sit there and they gather up all this information. And then all of a sudden, they're not growing anymore, and you wonder, gee, what could have possibly happened? Well, it's so obvious when you think about it, is initially they were given a 10-15 minute presentation,
right,
and very excited about the business, mm-hmm, and the opportunity and so forth. Then they learned all this information. Now they think that they got to tell the prospect everything they know, and that 15-minute presentation now goes to an hour, goes to 2 hours, and they just quit duplicating. So we say the more you know, the slower you grow. Now, we don't say don't go to these things, but we tell our people that, go and learn all this stuff for yourself, for your own information, but don't think that you have to tell your prospect everything that you've learned at this 2-day event.
Right. So I guess what you're basically, if you sort of combine both of those sayings, what you're basically saying is simplicity.
Got to keep it simple.
Simplicity rules the day. And I here again, and once again, if you have not looked at the Own Your Life seminar on DVD, then some of this material is new to you. For those of you that have, you're sort of catching the flavor. But as you go through the seminar, let me remind you that it is immensely profound material. And there are about 8 or 9 key points that make up the seminar, 2 of which we just now talked about. And I think that simplicity does, it's the old saying, repetition's the mother of success.
Right.